The Namibia Eagles continued the recovery of their ICC World Cup qualifier playoff campaign with a comfortable 8-wicket win with 107 balls remaining against Jersey yesterday. Coming up next is the Pipeline segment as we look at an interview with Namibian boxer Paulinus John
Tourismus Namibia is a weekly tourism show that brings you the latest news in the tourism industry and topics related to that. Tourismus aims at reaching travelers, accommodation, restaurant establishments, agricultural and financial institutions. The show focuses on tourism news, where to travel to fit your budget, 4x4 drives, routes and destinations, and so much more. Tourismus is broadcasted on NTV, Oneuptwo.com and cross-chat on the following Facebook platforms: the Republikein, Algemeine Zeitung, Namibian Sun and Namibia Media Holdings. Contact Tourismus at synergy.com.na for news and advertising related queries. Tourismus, bringing the world to Namibia.
Now, Namibian boxer John Ndjolonimus will face Mbiya Kankusa from the Democratic Republic of Congo in Windhoek on the 22nd of April at the Windhoek Country Club. In this upcoming interview, he talks, of course, boxing, but everything sport. Have a look at this chat in the Pipeline.
All right, so yeah, we are here with the boxer Paulinus John today. Welcome to the show, and so I was thinking of just starting off by asking you maybe to tell us a bit about where you're from and where you grew up in Namibia and how was it growing up?
Okay, thank you. I think it's morning time. Morning? Okay?
Yes.
Okay. About where I'm grew up, Mr. John John is from Oshagati side, and in a small town called Oshkuku. It's where I came from. I grew up in the village called Windhoek village. Is a small village. It's where I grew up. I grew up there, raised by my granny and my auntie also. So I went to school there. School is almost just next to the village. It's a combined school. It's where I went to school from grade 1 to 10 there. So, yeah, I grew up there, that place, area.
Okay, so did you have an interest in boxing from an early age, or tell us about how you got into the sport?
Yeah, I used to like boxing when I used to head. The first guy I used to head doing boxing and doing well is Harry Simon. So that time, it's a long time, 2000, and yeah, from 2000, 2001, that there was no those smart TV, only this small TV. I liked, someone when is doing boxing. Then from there, I started knowing, next, Rambo Antindi, Hitman, Follow, Ambuda. Then I just started liking boxing like that. Then I started like fighting at school with, mostly with the big guys, because the guy with my age, like, I used to beat them. I used to look maybe my height because I'm tall, just like that. Then the other guy of my cousin was here at Windhoek, this big guy, and he came home. When he used to come home at the village, he said he's doing boxing. Then he used to come with gloves. I used to steal them, then I take them to school. I say, guys, don't do anything. There's one cousin of mine doing boxing. I'm also a boxer. Then they used to be scared of those gloves. Yes, just like that.
Okay, so when you started off as a professional boxer, you were known as Paulinus Paulus. Your name is now Paulinus Ndjolonimus. Can you maybe tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, when I came to start boxing, since I've been like boxing at the village for school, from my cousin, his name is Makwambi, also well known in that amateur. When I came from village to Windhoek, I just came like I want to see where the gym of boxing. Then one of my cousins take me, let me show where the gym of boxing. Then he showed me, then I joined the academy, the Nestatopia's gym, Sunshine. So when I joined like I find SBK Kaperu, Rambo, France, and he already passed on. So I came there, I find them in the gym. I said, no, I also want to join boxing. They give me a letter to sign, a form. Then I sign, I want to join boxing. That's amateur. I start from amateur. Then amateur, there is a process where you have to go through for you to go in the national team. So I joined others and I started at the beginning. It took me a year without participate any fight, but after 1 year, the second year I start participating like just regional fight, those things. Then I just start good because I've been a year in a gym fighting with those who knows. I just learned from the gym, then from there I know boxing. I start participating, then we used to do like this championship. If you win, you become, then you qualify in the national team. Then I used to beat them. I never lose on amateur in Namibia. I beat them. Then promoter, he used to ask me next Atopias, how did John John do when they went to for those tournaments? I'm always the winner, just like that.
All right, so you're also known by many people on your fighting name, John John. Tell us a bit about where that name comes from.
Yeah, that name comes from my uncle, the last born of our mother. So in the national team, when he was accompanied by Mr. Gariseb, Joshua Veko, I used to beat some big guys in the national team when it's come to training. Then they give me first another name, Epokolo. Epokolo is something from the palm tree. Then that I'm tall, I don't have that body, but my chest is like flat, and that's why they give me that name, Epokolo. Every time we go to the gym, they like to call, where's Epokolo? We don't see him here, because I used to have those right and body shot that time. That's why they give me, but I like to have my name for the last uncle for our mother. His name is John, then me, I make it double John. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So one of the fights that really put you on the map and that made people to start to take note of you was the two fights that you had with Anthony Jarman. Both of them that you won by knockout. Obviously quite a bit of a big difference of how those two fights developed.
Yeah.
But tell us a bit about what you remember about those fights.
Yeah, the fight that most people knows John John is that one for Ndeni. So when I take Ndeni fight, I was having few fights, 11 fights, but I qualify to challenge anyone have those titles. So that time I was having 11 fights while Ndeni is having like more 20 to 24 fights. And he was the champion of WBA, and I even never test to go for those more round, 12 round, 10 rounds. But the promoter asked John John, so the WBO also accept for you to qualify to challenge. We were able to face Ndeni Jarman. Then I give an answer, yes. That's what I want, because I want also to be a champion. I just don't want just to be a boxer. I said, boxer, I want to have something, I weigh it. And I said, okay, we can make it. And we make it happen. In that fight, it was people, they say, no, this is a test for John John. It's what they think. Me, do you not think about it will be a test for me? I think about, I want to be a champion. Then that fight, sure. Don't know, it was, when I go there, I have no fear, I have no what, but it really become a test for me, because he give me a fight, fight. Because the way I handled it, and the way he was beating me, I didn't, the thing is, I was a man, but I try myself, I want to be a champion. I go and then I knock him on the last. That's it. On the rematch, they already feel the taste what the people were thinking about. On the rematch, I decided that I'm the champion now. Let me go and prove, because that's a rematch. People, they were doubting, no, John John, He was about to lose. Luckily, only win knockout on by Lucky. I said, okay, they say by Lucky, okay. Sunshine, from my promoter, let's do it. I go there with confidence. I didn't go with a long distance with him. Second round, we finished the work. That's it.
So you've had 2 more fights since those, I think. Which would you say has been maybe your best performance in the ring, if you could say?
Yeah, the other last 2 fights for where I start defending again my title, the WBO Africa, that one I have. It's like mature for anything can come up. I was just so, John John, when you have something on you, people, the guys, they need it, that in my weight division. I was just okay for that or any fight, but yeah, the guy from DRC that I fight, he almost gave me problem because he was a bit short. I cannot fight the way the people want or the fan want me to fight. That's it. So the last fight was in a Ghanaian. The Ghanaian, he come up, it's like he was an undefeated. People I say, John John, why the last fight, not the Ghanaian, the second last. John John, he fight an undefeated. And why John John is always a fight undefeated? But that's what they think. But to fight a better guys is when you become better. So the guy came there from the Ghanaian for last year, October 29. He said, no, I'll come and punish this Namibian boxer in the super middleweight division. I said, no, okay. I was respecting him because he was also undefeated. But I tell him, what you telling me, like you want to scale me, that's not an option. The thing is, the result only going to come out in the ring. What happened? He never see how did he go down.
Okay, so we know that boxing is a sport that takes a lot of discipline. So since you've turned professional, how do you see your life? How has your life changed since you've been a professional boxer?
Yeah, boxing can teach us discipline, and when you are doing good and training hard and you respect people they start to respect you more. And like to some of us who don't do anything daily, like going to work, there are people who are supporting us, John John, when you're in problem of this, because we want you to become somebody in sport of boxing, I can help you where you can stuck. That's why can make us keep us stay disciplined, respect people, respect everyone, even though there's those who are like you, for you to be a bad guy in that way, and like mostly the close friend of people that knows you very well. Some they respect you more, some they say, that's why we must stay away from staying in the wrong people, like the wrong places, like Shebin and those wrong friends, and bad friend that can one day you end up doing wrong things. That's discipline we learn from boxing.
Okay, so you obviously took the WBO Africa title from Anthony Jarman in April of 2021. So how do you feel about being the WBO Africa title holder?
I feel happy to be a WBO African title, but there is still something next for me that I really want to achieve. There is still WBO I want, but I want the last one, what we call a WBO. So you see, that's my aim, is to be a WBO world title. But it depends on me. I have to work hard on it. You see, now I will not think behind, I think what is in front of me. People can think, no, John John, when now as I'm number 7 in the world, maybe some who knows me very well, or they can have nervous or getting scared I'm in the big name. But at sometimes I like to say those who communicating with my team, guys, for me, I am fine. I'm the one who is in that line, in that length, and I'm good to go what is in front of me. And there is only my promoter who have to do that job and to see John John, who is next for me. Then I am ready to everybody who's in front of me. There is 6 guys because I'm number 7. Means I left 6. I feel myself, now round of applause for myself and to Nesta for doing good job for me and promoting nice fun and and the guy that helping Nesta outside, like the main sponsor of NTC and our personal sponsor like Erimomo Boutique and the Red Bite Meat Market, and our guys that also pushing us like me, John John. I can say they started Pau and the other boys and these street vendors, small business. You know, if you want a good drink, John John, come here. Don't need to suffer. It's a Jima investment. And I like also to thank my mother who also just there, even at the village. She said, no, once you need something like you just call me and see, I will see how I am. I can help you outside. Just to go strong like others.
As you mentioned, you are now moving into the elite level of the sport, the super middleweight division, where obviously the WBO world champion, the world title holder, Saul Canelo Alvarez from Mexico, one of the biggest names ever in the sport. Also one of the main contenders in this division, the 2 Americans, Caleb Plant and also Demetrius Andrade. How do you see this division and your place in the division?
First of all, I will not say bad about those guys. For them to be there on that stage just because of their discipline and they are working, the way they are working hard for it, is what they make them to be on that position. I'm also just on the line, on the length of them. Doesn't mean when they are becoming like Canelo Alvarez is a number 1 top there, like a president for the, and this guy number 1, 2, 3. I respect them and for that. But there you can stay there when you keep discipline and not to make people feel bad. You just do your job and there. But I will not say I'm scared of them. No, because this is job. It's not to hate someone. It's just like you are in school. When you are in grade 10, you like to go in grade 10 and 11. That's how I am. Just see even where I was behind. Now I'm number 7. That's mean I'm pushing. I want also to be number 1 or any numbers in front of me. Don't want to stay on number 7. That's what I want in my life. Everybody, those who in front, they work hard for it, and I'm with them guys.
Yeah. So we've been following your career so far in professional boxing. You've had 15 fights, won all of them, and 13 of those were by knockout. So as we've seen, you are actually a dangerous puncher. So always in with a chance. Yeah. So we'll obviously be following your career as it progresses from now on. So is there any last words that you would like to conclude with? Any word to your fans and to Namibians in general?
Yeah, to my fan, as I'm 15 and all, not easy, but it's always to improve. I will not be fight the same. When level change, always have to improve. What you learn in grade 11 is not what you're going to learn in grade 12. When you finish grade 12, you go to any university, you take different things like, it's not what you're going to learn, what you learn in grade 12, you become something different, like teacher, doctor, what. For me, I'm on a different stage. So, my friend, just have a hope, and we are okay to go. Just for now, I'll just keep on improving where I used to do bad, maybe. I also listen to my friend that John maybe improve on this and this and this, and I will just keep myself disciplined, and I respect all my friends that pushing me to the limit with good idea and good advices. That's all what I can say.
Very interesting conversation with Ndjolonimus over there. Now from me, Ashwyn Mberi, this is the last time you're going to see me. But thankfully, I'm not the last thing you're going to see. That's going to be Ari Hochad as he brings us international sporting news. See you next week.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with cricket news first, and it is cricket news from New Zealand. It is Sri Lanka that lost against New Zealand, and that is a big implication for Sri Lanka in the 50-over game, because they now need to qualify for the World Cup that is going to be played in India later this year. There's a qualifying tournament in Zimbabwe from 18 June to 9 July, and Sri Lanka need to play in that qualifying. What happened in New Zealand, in Hamilton, was that it is New Zealand that won by 6 wickets. It was Sri Lanka that batted first, not a high total, 157 bowled out in the 42nd over. So it was New Zealand also battled. There were 6 runs for 2 wickets early on, but they made the runs for the loss of only 4 wickets. That was 159 for the loss of 4, and it was Young with a score of 86 that was the best batsman for New Zealand. Also trying to qualify still for the World Cup in India, the 50-over World Cup, is South Africa. They've got 2 games coming up now against the Netherlands. If they win both those games, they're definitely through to the World Cup in India. First one being played Friday, that's a day-night game, that's going to be today. And then on Sunday also, it's the second game at the Wanderers. That is a day game starting at 10 a.m. at the Wanderers. That is South Africa, the Proteas men's team, playing against the Netherlands. Continuing with motorsport news, it's a Formula 1 Grand Prix, Australian Grand Prix, that's going to be on Sunday. First qualifying, it was a good day for Fernando Alonso. He was the fastest, but it was rain affected, so maybe not a big indication for what's going to happen on Sunday. In fact, earlier practice when it was dry, it was Max Verstappen that was a bit faster, but in the wet conditions, it was Fernando Alonso first, and then Charles Leclerc second fastest time, and Max Verstappen the third fastest time. Lewis Hamilton's still not happy. He didn't have a good day. He's not happy with the balance of his Mercedes-Benz, and he's been making a few statements against his team, saying that Mercedes-Benz need to look at a certain detail to get the balance of that car right. So it's Australian Grand Prix very early on Sunday. The start will be at 7 a.m. That is Southern African time on Sunday. Continuing international sports news with tennis news, it's the Miami Open that's coming to a conclusion over the weekend. The women's final on Saturday, the men's final on Sunday. And in the women's Sundown final already, it is one of the players confirmed. That is Elena Rybakina. She's a number 10th seed, and a good win for her against the number 3rd seed, Jessica Pegula. Took her 3 sets to win the tournament, or to win the game. It was in 3 sets, and she's playing in the final. The other finalists are yet to be confirmed. That game will be on Friday evening. The semi-final, it will be Czech's Petra Kvitova, and she will play against Romanian Sorana Castilla. And so they will play, either of them will play against Elena Rybakina. She's the Wimbledon champion from 2022 as well. On the men's side, number 1 seed Carlos Alcaraz safely through against Taylor Fritz, 6-4 and 6-2. He won that game. And also Daniil Medvedev, he is also the number 4 seed. He went through against Chris Eubank. Both these games, quarterfinal games, they're into the semi-finals. And the final of the men's side will be played on Sunday. Closing off today's international sports news with golf news. 2 tournaments started on the PGA, the Women's PGA and the Men's PGA. The first, the Women's PGA, it's the LPGA LA Open. That's the first round leader there is MH Lee. She's from South Korea, 6 under par. And it is Nelly Korda also in the mix there with 3 under par. She's the world number 3. Not a good day for Ashley Buhai of South Africa. She won the South African Open quite recently in Cape Town, but she came in with a round of 8 over par. On the men's side, it is the Texas Open, Valero Texas Open, that's taking place. The first round leader there is Matt Kuchar on 4 under par, and also 2 South Africans doing well, MJ Duffy at the -4, and also Garrick Hugo of Stellenbosch. He came in with a -3. That's the Texas Open being played in San Antonio. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day and sport weekend. We talk again on Monday. Goodbye.